Hey, sorry I'm so uncomfortably close to this, but I forgot my microphone in Clearwater, and so I just want to make sure everybody can hear this, so I'm going to stay nice and close. My mom, in particular, has a tradition that I have now embraced and I'm passing on to my kids, which is you do things on the first that you want to maintain throughout the year. So I'll get in a little workout. I'll eat some good for me food. I'll spend a lot of time with my kids. Got in some time on my new Twitch channel. And now I'm going to do a video because believe I'm going to do wrestling related videos all year long. And I'll find a way to make a little money. Which reminds me. Cool. So let's talk about the Georgia Wrestling History Awards. I got a really great suggestion from a number of people, actually, about what's the best way to sort of describe the awards to help people out. And then I thought I would give some tips as well. It's really important. So, first of all, the awards, right? Some of them are kind of obvious, some of them not so obvious. So I'll just kind of go through them methodically. Now, this is all off the top of my head, my kid's swimming in the background, and afterwards I'm going to do a little swimming myself. It's like 80 degrees here in Florida. Oh, it's nice. And I look like crap because we've been binge watching Cobra Kai Season 3. So, Wrestler of the Year. Overall Wrestler of the Year. It might seem kind of self-explanatory, but it's not. So I want to explain it here. It's the person who's basically the MVP of Georgia wrestling in ring. So do they have to be the champion of one of the bigger promotions? No. Does that help their cause a lot? Yes. It's somebody who's really marked the time really well in Georgia wrestling this year. Now, 2020, a bunch of these sort of standards are going to be skewed and different and weird, and I get that, but you know, who's the MVP would be my definition of Wrestler of the Year. Now, technical, some would say it's mat technician stuff, and I would agree with that. I would also amend that to go, who's the best at working with a variety of people? Now, there's a lot of people who want to get this award, and that's cool. But that's my definition of technical. I really can't go beyond that. It's when you hear technical wrestler, whatever it invokes in your mind is probably close to correct. Male performer, it's the Tommy Rich Award, right? That's what it's named after. So it's a guy who's basically gimmick work, promo work, transcends and makes them larger than they are, larger than life as an individual. So, let's see, female performer. This one's way more open-ended. I think it's the woman in Georgia wrestling that has sort of meant the most, and been and had a public face, right? Like, so Diane Hughes, who used to run a promotion, I don't think would really qualify, but as long as they're a performer in some way, shape, or form, I think they can qualify. Does that make sense? Great. Tag team or stable, basically two people or more in a group that had the most significant impact. What is the tag team or group that you would consider the MVP in Georgia wrestling? Cool. Booker of the Year, the person who pulls the strings and makes the things happen. You might think of them as a matchmaker. However, matchmaker to me is the sort of lowest form of booking. In other words, if somebody called me a matchmaker, I would have been pretty pissed, because matchmaking is what happens at any crappy promotion, right? That's a dry erase board or a chalkboard or a piece of paper with a bunch of scribblings on it. This guy versus this guy, this guy versus this guy, this guy versus this guy. That is one aspect of booking, but angles, drawing over time, the ability to get on their phone or on Facebook or whatever and get a hold of people that they want to. All that factors into booking. Yeah. Promoter, that's the person who's supposed to get butts in the seats. But that's one aspect of the job, right? Other aspects of the job can be raising the profile and prominence of the promotion as well. Again, we've never broken these things down, so I'm actually glad to do this video. Raising the profile of the league itself. And sometimes that means getting venues, and sometimes it doesn't. Now, that doesn't mean if you're a place that's had to get a variety of venues that should give you a distinct advantage over somebody that's got a venue locked down. But sometimes the job of a promoter is to get those venues, and that definitely should factor in, I think. And this year, I would say, and if you helped your promotion adapt to the incredibly arduous circumstances, we definitely want to note that as well. Cool. Manager of the year. Are you the person who worked in the capacity of a manager and elevated the people that you were with, and had your person you were in charge of or people you were in charge of raised in prominence along with yourself and the promotions that you worked for? To me, that's manager of the year. Referee of the year. Who are the referees that the boys, in the wrestling sense boys, wanted to have referee their matches? To me, that's a nice distinction to make between, oh, I think this ref did a good job. Almost every ref has done a fucking good job. To me, that's not enough. To me, it's if you're the referee that they went out of their way to want to referee their matches, or that promoters / bookers put with matches that they consider to be particularly important because they didn't want any mistakes, that's your referee of the year. So this is one of those places where I urge promotions to not just stump for your guy. Be real. Who are the referees who are the best? So we go to commentator / announcer. I don't know if it's going to be 2 awards. So what are you looking for? Which commentators are the best? Which ones really tell the story of the action going on? Okay. Let me just say this, because there's a couple of commentators who have wanted me to kind of listen to their stuff and all this kind of stuff. Here's my general note for almost every commentator. If all you're doing is telling me what I'm already looking at, you're fucking doing a shit job. I don't need some asshole to go, ooh, big clothesline in the corner. Yeah, I fucking saw that. That's the difference between being a matchmaker and a booker is storytelling, and being the difference between being a passable commentator and a great one. The difference is the difference in storytelling, sort of nuance, and that kind of thing, as opposed to just being the frickin' closed captioning and just going like, oh, this is what was said, and so I'm just going to spit it out. This is what you see, and I'm just going to tell you what you're seeing. Like, fuck, I don't need that. When people say that they hate live commentary at shows, what they mean is they hate that there's some jackass doing a bad Jim Ross impersonation, but also doing the play-by-play. So they're, oh, ducks a clothesline, comes off the rope, shoulder tackle, oh, big shoulder tackle, my God. Commentators, I don't want to hear the word big 100 times a show. I don't want you to tell me what I'm already seeing. And I want you to know when to shut the fuck up. When the noise happening in the ring or the noise happening from the crowd is more important than your fucking voice. Who's really great at doing that? That's your commentator of the year. Ring announcer, to me, a different job. Ring announcer is all about, there are a lot of things in this show, but most of all, it's about keeping the show moving and keeping the energy levels, and not just keeping them super hyped, but it's about orchestrating, and it's about meeting the moment and accentuating whatever the moment is that you're going for. If you're if you're an announcer and you call them and you basically announce the main event the same way you announce everything else, yes, part of that is probably the fault of the promotion, but that's your fault too. And I would say that hurts you in the running. If you're an announcer whose look takes away from the presentation of the thing, if you don't dress up when you're supposed to dress up, then you've then you're unsuccessful as an announcer. Cool. Legends Award. It's named after Ted Allen. And so, in essence, to me, it's this. Who's a person who's an indelible part of not just Georgia wrestling, but Georgia wrestling history? Who's one of the foundational people that is the glue that holds the whole fucking thing together, or did at one point? I think you can make very good arguments for the people that have won it in some way, shape, or form. There's one thing I would caution people about. This is not about rewarding some wrestler that you like. That's not what a legend is. This is about honoring somebody who deserves it, not just rewarding somebody that you like. And if you can make that distinction, I am very confident that you will vote in the right direction. Keep in mind that this award is unique in that you have to get 50% of the vote, and we've gone years before and not given a winner in this category. Now, the new awards. Promo and match. So the websites are up and running. They're on Facebook about the GWH Awards. I'm going to put a link below. No, I'm fucking not. You can fucking find it. Let me caution now. So promo of the year, each promotion is going to put up promo of the year. Leagues and individuals who want to put up promos can put up one. And each league can put up 2 for match of the year that everybody can look at. To me, that's self-explanatory. But now I'm going to go in a little deeper here to end the video. There's already promotions that are trying to stack the ranks. And by that I mean they're trying to flood it with everything. If you don't fucking understand the political ramifications to you, to trying to stuff a ballot box or to force your fucking thing down everybody's throat, then you're an idiot. And you probably shouldn't be involved in some carny shit like wrestling, because clearly you don't get it. My suggestion is, I would rather see people throw out their best pitch rather than throw 100 in the hopes of getting what they want. Because trust me, people notice and people formulate all kinds of opinions. Are the Georgia Wrestling History Awards a popularity contest? All voting is a popularity contest to an extent. Now, the Georgia Wrestling History Awards are different. Fans cannot vote. And this year, nobody's going to do some fucking bullshit like having their goddamn nacho fucking sellers vote, or their ticket takers, or the rest of that fucking horseshit. It's not going to happen. It's meant to be for wrestlers, managers, referees, announcer and commentators, bookers, promoters, and the people that work to make Georgia wrestling better on a bigger scale than just, I show up and I do security and I'm more over than some of the boys. I've had to listen to this shit already, and fuck you for it. This is an industry award from industry people for the enhancement and the acknowledgement of the people who work hard in Georgia wrestling. People can critique, people can bitch, that is your right. Just know, fuck you, and you're wrong. And if I see it publicly, yes, I'm gonna fucking fight you every fucking step of the way. Because God knows in indie wrestling, there is very little in terms of reward. And if you want to fucking try to badmouth the people who, of their own volition, without any fucking monetary compensation, are going out of their way to acknowledge the people in Georgia wrestling who have done a great fucking job, then fuck you. And if you're a league, new, or otherwise, that thinks you're going to somehow circumvent the system, you should probably go away for this part. Fuck you. New leagues. Fucking If you think that you're just gonna force your fucking way through, you're fucking crazy. I'm not saying you gotta stand in line. I'm just saying, if you're doing shitbird shit and you think you're gonna get a fucking award, you're fucking insane. I would encourage everybody who should vote and who voted in the past to vote again. I would encourage that. I don't want to see a bunch of wah-wah shit publicly about, I don't know if I'm worthy of a vote. If you have to ask that publicly, I would say you don't get to fucking vote. If you know that you're supposed to vote, then you should be confident enough to know that we'll know that as well. I pay more attention to what you're doing than what you do about what everybody else is doing. Believe it. It's what I fucking do. So, we're going to have that process of making sure that you get a ballot. Your nominations, start sending them in. Who do you think? And then hopefully in about a week's time, I'm not holding us to any fucking date right this second. Fuck you. We're doing the best we can. We allowed 2020 to happen. Now that shit's gone. Thank God. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take about a week, take these nominations in. Committee will get together. We'll fucking look at who everybody has said should be nominated. And then there'll be 3 in every category where possible. Do we have the flexibility to have more if it seems like we should have more? Yes. Do you have the right, after we put out the nomination list, to bitch and moan about it in public? Sure. Do I fucking care? Not really. And then we will give a relatively short amount of time for people to vote. Once those nominations are up, the voting will be as easy as you go to this certain place, click who you want to vote, snip, snap, done, and then we'll announce it on a future episode of Tipping Point that will take place within the first 2 to 3 weeks of January. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you have any questions, shove them up your ass. Or you can try to ask somebody. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And at this point, if you act like an asshole on the nomination fucking pages, that's on you. I've given fair warning. Anyway, I do want to start the year off really positively. So let me just say, good luck to everybody. If you really want to win, I hope you get at least a nomination, and I hope people's hard work really gets recognized, and I hope that people get the G-string out of the crack of their ass about this whole thing and realize at the end of the day, it's about honoring your fellow wrestlers, etc., not just about you. Cool. But I do want to keep it positive, so let me just say, don't positively act like assholes. Thanks.